Let's see. I want to ask you about the reggae thing. Now you're in Scotland. Um, how does things move to reggae? Now, let me get this straight. Now, your mom's from Scotland,
Right.
and I think you said your dad is American.
My dad
Yeah.
is from Birmingham, Alabama,
With an accent and everything?
with a y'all, with a showing off.
Oh,
Yep.
wow.
But he passed now. But my uncle and my cousins, they're all down.
They're all down south and all of the
Southern
thing. And I think I'd seen you had a picture of yourself as a child in Scotland.
Oh yeah.
And you put it. You said a wee darky. Now you're.
That's what I was.
Yeah.
That's what they
So
call me.
this is kind of weird because if you know, is that an uncommon thing over in Scotland? You know.
When I was growing up, I was the only black child in the town.
Wow.
Yeah.
So were people like prejudiced against you, or did people like
Well-
just treat you like, whoa, what's going on here? You got an afro. What's up with that?
Yeah, it was an interesting phenomenon because up to a certain age it was cute. Then after a certain age it became a threat. You
Oh,
see.
hold on. When was that line? When did that line?
I'm not quite sure, but I remember, it was okay to play with kids and all that, and people would come up, oh look at his hair.
Yeah,
and
they
all
want to
that,
touch your hair.
and
Yeah.
all that, touch the hair, and then just at a certain point it became, oh no, you can't play with him, and
Yeah, I think Pauline Black from The Selector in her book, I think it was Black by Design, and I tell you, she had a similar thing.
Is that right?
Yeah. She was a young adopted child, and she was talking about like everything was cool in the beginning, and then all of a sudden everybody's trying to touch your hair. It's trouble.
yeah, and at that time I don't know, is it because this political correctness that people are talking about.
Right.
But back then, my mother, my uncles, my aunts, they were all saying racist things, without who.
Right. They're not realizing that you're black here.
But my uncle's making racist jokes about my father, and remembering him. Oh, I remember when he was like this. Whoa. It was just a racist joke.
Yeah.
And all this. And my mother giving me racist answers to questions I had about my color and all this, just kind of,
Wow,
rattling
that-
off the party line about black people this and black people that.
But there must have been like some at least some comfort like in music.
in
like-
music, a
So,
lot.
like you see,
a lot
there's
of
people that
comfort.
look like you.
You remember that show Ironsides?
Ironside, yeah, sure.
Yeah,
Raymond
I got a lot
Burr.
of comfort out of the guy that was wheeling the guy around.
Yeah.
you
Oh,
know.
yeah.
Because the guy that was wheeling the cripple around was a black guy
Was a
with
black
an
guy.
afro.
So, but then, what brings you to reggae music?
And then another big influence
Yeah.
on me was Cassius Clay,
Oh, yeah, sure. Muhammad Ali.
Muhammad Ali.
Mhm.
He was another black man, and then Jimi Hendrix.
Oh, wow.
But what brought me to New York? Did you say?
Well, to reggae.
Oh, to reggae.
What brings you to the reggae music?
Well, I grew up in London for a part of my life, so I
Sure.
lived in a place called New Cross, and I was exposed to reggae at the very, very beginning before reggae became Marley.
Right. So back then in the days, it was early ska, rock, the stuff that I love.
Yeah.
The lovers rock, all that stuff. That mix of mento, calypso, and
Exactly.
American R&B, putting it all together and bringing that stuff.
And I'll never forget walking around where I lived, and you could go from one block to the next and just hear the different styles of reggae, because people would, you know how they came here and that guy went round with the car with the speakers in it.
Right.
In London, every house was like that,
Well, sound system. Everybody has a
sound
sound system.
system
Sound boys
and-
are there with spinning those dub plates.
Yeah, and they wanted everybody to hear what they were listening to, So it was a real, education, really. And then I had a girlfriend. She was white,
Uh-huh.
but her family, her mother and father, and her sister, they love reggae music, and they had stacks of Trojan
Wow.
45s. Like, we just go through them, like this, trying to find one that didn't start with a drum break, like that.
Oh, yeah, but I thought you loved the drums and stuff like that.
Yeah, I know. But it was just one of those things. Every reggae record seemed to start.
Yeah, exactly.
You know what I'm saying?
Now, do you have any reggae tunes that you would like to play now? I mean, how do you mix the Scottish part in there? How do you get all that together?
Well, talking about reggae, you know, like that was my first exposure to reggae.
Uh-huh.
But then, when Marley came,
Mm-hmm.
it was like an explosion all over, and everybody who was had anything to say about something seemed to want to be a part of what Marley was saying.
Sure,
You know, and that would really happen in my hometown, big time. You know, and everybody wanted to.
So this is in Scotland, or
This is in Scotland. yeah,
Wow.
in Scotland.
So there's acceptance.
oh, huge acceptance.
There's suddenly accepted where everybody before it was all like kind of nervous, and now everybody's like, dude, bring that.
Yeah, exactly.
So cool.
So I didn't really get into reggae music at that time, but I definitely embraced it, you know, as a genre and as a method of you know, activist
Oh, yeah, sure.
expression, you know, because that's what Marley was all about. But then later on, you know, as I left the drums and started taking up guitar, I found that the easiest guitar style to play and sing along to was reggae style.
Mm-hmm.
So, and I love reggae music. I love UB40.
Oh yeah, keep letting it roll, man. Keep let this roll. That's what I'm saying. Go ahead.
No, I love UB40
Yeah.
because I was there at the start of the two-tone thing. You
Oh
know,
yes, yeah.
like
You
the
talk about
two-tone-
the
the two-tone concerts. They would go on tours like the
So it'd be-
Chitlin Circuit type tour.
yeah, like everybody together,
Everybody
all the bands together, like
Madness, the Selector,
specials,
the Beat,
yeah.
the Specials.
Mhm.
And I used to go into those gigs, you know, and you couldn't stand still for the pogo dance. And all that.
Right.
So I loved that. I
Yeah,
absolutely
Dance
loved
Craze. See,
that.
the movie Dance Craze gives you an example of what all that stuff is together. Body Snatchers, Bad Manners, all
Right,
these
right,
bands
right, right.
together.
Yeah, it was just
Madness.
It was crazy.
Get
It
it
was
in there.
it was an explosion of just craziness. You know, young people having a good time and looking sharp.
Yeah,
and,
oh, dressing nice and
everything,
and
you know.
everybody together, all the races together.
Yeah,
and it's,
and
and
all
it's
the
cool.
races together. It was cool. So, you know, I loved reggae from that, and then, you know, when I came to pick up the guitar and I'd try and play these, but I thought all sound reggae. Then I started playing reggae feel, and I thought, this is it. This is where I'm at. And then I started to learn the arrangements. You know, listening to Marley more, listening to UB40 because that's my thing.
Mhm.
Sade, even who
Oh, sure.
who people don't think of as a reggae artist,
Uh-huh.
but you know, she does do that lovers rock.
Oh yeah,
thing,
she
you know.
does. She's a lover. She named an album "Lovers Rock."
Right,
Right.
exactly.
So, yeah.
So, and
It's like when people snap on like, oh, No Doubt or whatever. Like, yo, they put out an album and they called it Rock Steady. Are they implying something? I think they are.
yeah, right. Oh yeah, absolutely,
Mm-hmm.
no doubt.
But let's hear it a little.
So yeah, so I took that feel and my love for Scottish traditional
Yeah.
music because I come from the west coast of Scotland, which is the birthplace of Robert Burns, the Scottish poet.
Okay.
And he wrote a number of great tunes that people remember all over the world. And this song I'm going to do now is one of those. It's called A Man's a Man for All That.
All right.
Right, so we're taking music from 1786, basically, the music and the words from 1786, and we're giving it a reggae feel. Tonight, I'm only going to be able to do it with the guitar,
Now, do your thing.
but normally it would be that kind of like a UB40 or a Bob Marley type band going on in the background. But I do have my foot band with me.
Okay. There you go. Put that
There you
band
go.
around your foot.
So put a band on
Sorry,
your
I
foot.
know, I know you're wearing the kilt here. You don't want
So-
to.
sorry.
I don't want to give anybody a free show.
Okay, so yeah, I'll wear this and it'll give me a little bit of help. So
All right.
this is called A Man's a Man. Let's get this thing up here. A man's a man for all that. It's in dialect, so you.
Oh
might
no,
know.
do your thing.
So it goes 1, 2, 1, 2, ready, go. Is dear for honest poverty that hangs his head and all that. The coward, the slave, we pass them by. We dare be poor for all that, for all that, and all that. Our toils obscure and all that. The rank is but the guinea stamp. The man's the goat for all that. Although on him they fair would dine, wear hood and grey and all that. Gay fools their silks and knaves their wine. A man's a man for all that. For all that and all that, their tinsel show and all that. The honest man, though e'er so poor, is king o' men for all that. So no, people don't cry. So no, people don't cry. You see yon Burkie called a lord, for struts and stairs and all that. Though hundreds worship at his word, he's but a coof for all that. For all that and all that, his ribbon star and all that. The man of independent mind, he looks and laughs at all that. And now a prince can mak a belted knight, a marquis, a duke, and all that. But an honest man's aboon his might, good faith, he mauna fa that. For all that and all that, their dignities and all that. The piss o' sense and pride of words are higher rank than all that. So no, people don't cry. No, no, people don't cry. For all that and all that, stand up for your wives. Oh no, no, people don't cry. Oh, and let us play that come it may, as come it will, for all that. That sense and worth o'er all the earth shall bear the gree for all that. For all that and all that, it's coming yet for all that. That man to man the world o'er shall brothers be for all that. Oh no, people don't cry. So no, people don't cry. Yo, a man's a man. Oh, people don't cry. Yo, a woman's a woman. For all that, for all that.
All right. Mike Ogletree has been our guest. He's excellent.